Hi, it's Gab, and I'm reviewing The King's Speech. This movie first came on my radar when it was at the Toronto International Film Festival, which Gab and Dad covered back in the fall, but we did not see this film at the time, but it did end up winning the Audience Prize, which means it was the most liked film of the entire festival by the general festival-going audience. And of course, since then, it's been getting lots of critics' notices and awards, various top 10 lists of the year, and various critics' attention mostly for the great performances, which I will be speaking of course. And so coming up to Oscar season, it's definitely a front runner in several categories and one to keep an eye on if you're interested in such things. And if you're interested in British historical biographical dramas, because that's what it is. The story is about who would eventually be King George VI, played by Colin Firth, eventually meaning that he wasn't supposed to be King George V's successor. He had an elder brother who had to abdicate. That's a whole other story, but as the story progresses, this sees the inevitability of him ascending to the throne. It's also the onset of World War II, a very significant time in British history, obviously. And so a lot of attention and pressure is coming towards George VI, and particularly because he has been saddled with an extreme speech impediment. He's a very bad stutterer, and in his public duties has to give speeches, which are a great struggle and strife for him to perform. And even in his personal, quieter dealings with his own wife and children, he is saddled with a stutter that makes him feel very frustrated and meek in his inability to express himself. And so this is a real struggle for his character, and particularly because of the position he's going to be put in royalty in the country historically. It's a big problem. So his wife hooks him up with a handy-dandy speech therapist who seems to be just the right guy to finally help him. And this guy is Geoffrey Rush. Another excellent performance. And so the two of them together, it's really a character study of the two and of their relationship. I would almost call it a bromance. It's really about the trajectory of their relationship, the ups and downs, misunderstandings, hurt feelings, progress, triumph. So almost a little bit of romantic plot beats in a way, although not in a way that we don't want to get into. So it's wonderful to see the evolution of their relationship, and of course, not to spoil it, but the improvement of the stuttering issue. That's sort of the technical goal, but it's really more of an emotional trajectory with the characters, and specifically with Colin Firth's character. His performance is great. There's no denying that. You really empathize with his struggles. You can feel the frustration through every fiber of his performance, and you feel it yourself, almost physically in the audience, when he's trying to get those words out, get the speech out, get his thoughts and feelings out. There's really the word I would use would be suspense to it, when you're gripped with wondering, is he going to be able to do it or not? And he just handles that so well that I do believe it would be a genuine portrayal of stuttering, although I don't know about the technicality of it. It's really a technical, physical performance in that respect. And then the emotional side of it, again, as I said, empathizing with him and caring about seeing him succeed and getting that confidence and that success in order to take on what lies ahead of him as king is very inspiring. It hits all the right beats, and as I say, you really do care. And you care again about the relationship of the two men, what they mean to each other, and being able to see an ultimate success in that relationship. So it really is about the central relationship, the friendship of the two men, and the character study specifically of George VI. Excellent performances, can't say enough about them. I don't have too much wonderful expressions to say about anything else in the film. It was very well done, but I don't think that the script or the directing in particular was anything out of the stratosphere for me. It falls neatly into this genre of, the Merchant Ivory, British period piece, cozy, almost square approach. There's no whiz bang. Not that that would have been appropriate, but it's certainly, there's nothing that grabs attention for me in this film beyond the performances, and they speak for themselves, and that's more than enough. Definitely worthy of acting nominations in this film. I just can't see anything beyond that. But I would recommend it if you're interested in fine acting, particularly British acting, and the rest of the cast too. There's some very notable British actors in there who you will recognize. I don't know if it's the accent, but there's something about a British actor. They pretty much can do no wrong, at least in this film. So if you're interested in great British performances, the historical context to a lesser degree, it's a bit more in the background. It gives the context for the character's story, but it's not about that point in history. And I almost sometimes found the way the history was shoehorned into the story a little bit awkward, not always organic. The character study in the context of the historical context were sometimes a little bit at odds for me, not to a detrimental effect, but just slightly. So you're not going for a history lesson, you're going for a character study and a performance, wonderful central performance, and particularly if you're interested in awards season, you wouldn't want to miss King's Speech. You're going to be hearing more of it. Thanks for watching.